Welcome back to another video. It is Wednesday afternoon. It is 2:45. It is 32 degrees today and I am struggling. My steps are at like 3,000. I am nowhere near where I want to be. Energy levels still incredibly low. I do think part of the reason my energy is super low though is because I'm actually on annual leave next week. So Friday will be my last working day this week. I've told all my clients, basically my inbox is going to be closed from 5 p.m. Friday. I will then finish answering any messages and stuff before I then log off Friday night. And then I will be off until Monday the 10th. So I'll literally have like a week and 2 days off, which first time off from coaching all year. So absolutely need it. Looking forward to it. It's going to be nice. I've got like hardly anything planned, which is good. I really just need a whole week to just like fully switch off from everything. And it's also landing on week 1 of my training block as well, which means it will just be really light, low pressure training too. So very much looking forward to that. And I think that might be part of why I have no energy, just because like I know this rest is coming and it's nearly here. But other updates, body weight today was 85.7. So in the last video, I mentioned that yesterday I dropped to 85.3, which was just like weirdly, weirdly low. Major drop, but I expected it to kind of shoot back up a little bit, and it has, which I'm still quite a bit down from where I was sitting at this point last week. So I think we'll probably still see roughly half a kilo drop on average this week, but we'll obviously just see. But I'm feeling pretty good in terms of my habits and everything. The only thing I'm thinking today might be a struggle is getting my steps in just because of the heat. Like I've got a call at 5. And then I'm going to be probably switching off after that, going and training. It's a very light session today. It's just light squats and bench and deadlift, and then a few like body weight, lower body kind of rehabby type accessories. So it's a pretty low pressure session today, which is good, especially with this heat. But I think I might get my treadmill out and do some steps after I've trained when I'm already kind of hot and sweaty. But I essentially just want to avoid doing anything that's going to make me overheat even more than I currently am, which is why I don't really want to do my steps right now. It is way too hot for a dog walk, so kind of just hiding indoors. Got the fan in front of me and I've got another bigger one behind me as well, just to kind of get me through. But the temperature is supposed to drop after today, thank God, because I am struggling. I don't think there's any other real updates. Like things are pretty routine at the moment. Nothing kind of major going on. No like main talking points. Someone did ask me, which might have been my Q&A last week or another video I did last week. One of last week's videos, someone asked me how long I've actually been training for. And I thought that might be something to just kind of talk through in this and like give a bit of background on my training history. So I joined the gym when I was 16 years old. Literally as soon as I turned 16, I started going to the gym with my mum. My mum had been getting like personal training, which was included in her membership, with some of the guys that were bodybuilders there. So they encouraged her to try strength training and kind of getting into strength training, not powerlifting, but just general strength training. I joined with the intention of being as skinny as possible back when I was 16, but she encouraged me to strength train, and I actually did some sessions with some of the personal trainers that were also kind of bodybuilders and stuff there. And then when I learned to drive when I was 17, which was, I literally passed like 6 months past my 17th birthday, like pretty much the day, I then went to the gym every single day of the week for 18 months, 2 years, I don't even know how long, before I then worked at the gym and then literally just never left. But yeah, since literally when I passed my driving test is when I actually started training properly, I would say. Now I still didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of just alternated between push, pull and legs, but I literally would do like push, pull, legs, every movement I know on all 3 over and over and over again. And I'm, how old am I now? 27, I'll be 28 in October. So essentially I've been going to the gym for 11 years, properly training, I would say for 10 years, or like heavy training for 10 years. Because when I passed my driving test as well, one thing I used to do a lot was go and train with some of the guys that actually worked there. There was one in particular who worked there who, when he would finish his shift, we'd train together, and we would do like a lot of heavy push sessions and stuff, which I think is where my love for like heavy bench press and stuff came from, and heavy dumbbell press, because I remember very clearly like being stronger than the guys my age, which was obviously a really cool feeling as a teenage girl. And I just kind of fell in love with heavy lifting kind of from that period of my life. And I think I started powerlifting properly maybe a year later. I think as I left college when I was like 18 and a half, I actually discovered what powerlifting was and met a powerlifter, kind of started training a bit more like a powerlifter. But even for my first couple of competitions, I wasn't really powerlifting. I was following like a template powerlifting program, but it wasn't really a powerlifting program. It was more of like a general strength training, but with SPE kind of focus, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it better than that. But obviously it gave me a really good base, and that's how I got to where I am now. So yeah, that is how long I've been training. So 11 years, yeah, 11, 12, nearly 12 years. It'll be 12 years in October since I joined the gym, which actually feels crazy saying that out loud. But yeah, I would say it was when I was 17 I started training like regularly, because I know when I was 16 I used to want to go every day, but I literally couldn't get there. I had to be driven there. And unless my mum or my sister were going, which my sister didn't go very often anyway, I wouldn't get to go. I'd go maybe like once or twice a week when I was 16. So yeah, that's my background. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get some more work done. Just getting ahead on everything before I'm off next week. So that's kind of the plan now. I managed to get quite a lot of work done first half of this week, like Monday, Tuesday, so that actually I'm not going to be kind of stressing about getting everything done before I log off Friday, which is also a really nice feeling, because I think we're hoping to go to the cinema to see The Odyssey on Friday night. But that's providing I get everything finished in time. Okay, if you can hear the sound of my fan, I'm not even sorry. It is 30 degrees still. It's 6:30. I'm struggling so badly. I don't want to do this at all. Good thing is I actually feel a bit brighter now. I'm not really sure why. I'm feeling a little bit better than I did earlier, so I'm not going to complain about that. But you're literally just going to get this session done. Thankfully, bench is super light, 3x5 at 3x5 at like 90, and then I've got 4x2 pause deadlifts. I want to say around the 150 range, which still should be fine and comfortable. And then it's just some lower body kind of accessory movements, pretty much all body weight, nothing crazy. I think from next block, I'm going to start pushing some of them a little bit more, but I do want to have a bit of a rejig of my weekly structure in the next block. So I'm going to get this week finished and then kind of sit down and do that. But yeah, I think things like split squats, I can probably start loading now, which I've been doing body weight and stuff, just to make sure my hamstring issue can kind of handle the load essentially. But yeah, I don't want to do this. It's too hot. It's too hot. Thankfully, it's light though. There's nothing I have to really hype myself up for. Just gonna get it done. Can't get my words out. I'd have to meal prep after, which I'm also not excited to do. Steps, I'm at 5,000. Guys, I don't think I'm gonna make it to even 8,000 today. What's been kind of happening the last couple of weeks of me really kind of getting my steps up and being intentionally a lot more active throughout the day is basically 1 or 2 days a week I'll be at like 8,000 to 9,000, but then the rest of the week I'll be anywhere from like 12 to 15. And Monday, Tuesday this week I've been at like 12.5 to 13,000. So I'm okay with having a lower step count day. I think it'll just mean that if I only end up at like 6, maybe 7,000 this like today, then I'll have to hit 13, 14,000 most days the rest of the week. But the temperature is supposed to drop loads tomorrow, so I think I can handle that. I'm not going to force it today just because I'm struggling so much. But I will say, remind me of this if in the winter I start complaining about how cold it is out here, because would much rather be training in the cold right now than in the heat. I don't think there's any other real things to go over. Like, I am feeling really good mentally in terms of like being prepared for my annual leave next week. I sat down tonight and just made a note of like what else I have left to do before I logged off. So like what else I have left to do tomorrow and Friday before I logged off tonight. And I've actually not got loads more to get ahead on. So super happy about that. I think I've literally got 2 more training blocks to write, which I'll get done tomorrow. And then Friday, it's just going to be a case of checking over everyone that I do nutrition for and making sure that they're all okay because they're not getting a formal check-in next week. And yeah, just making sure everyone's got what they need, answering messages, kind of going through any video feedback I've still got I've got come through in my inbox on Friday. But I'm feeling like, I think part of me was a little bit stressed the last few days, thinking how much I had to get done ready for my annual leave, but super productive work block this afternoon. It feels the last 2 days have been super productive. I'm now actually like, oh wait, no, I am organised enough that it's not going to be an overwhelming amount to fit in. I should still be able to finish in a reasonable time, both tomorrow and Friday, which is what we want. So yeah, anyway, I'm putting off the session because I really don't want to do it. I'm going to stop talking and just get it done. Okay, so not the best, not the worst, like it was fine. Bench was obviously fine. Like, to be honest, bench probably felt the best it has on this day for a while. It's felt a bit clunky lately and it felt like my positioning and stuff and my touch point was a lot more consistent today. The final set, which is the one that I filmed, I actually was like overheating too much by that point and I started slipping a little bit when I was setting up, but it was just a struggle to hold my position, but overall I don't think it was bad. Deadlifts were interesting. I failed my first attempt at my 150 set of 2, my first set. So it was 4x2. First set I actually failed because I couldn't get the second rep because of my grip. I then redid the 4 sets and they were all comfortable and fine. But I actually have a theory why my grip on deadlifts hasn't been great recently, which is mentioned in, would have been last Friday's video. So my SBD at the weekend, I failed my set of 4 because I couldn't grip the final rep, even though the first 3 were pretty comfortable. And essentially same thing happened today. I did the first rep and my grip felt a little bit off, and then I just completely lost it during the pause on the second rep. I didn't actually film that set annoyingly, but basically, for anyone who's been around a while, I had a car accident years ago now, and I get these flare-ups in my neck quite often. I've actually had one recently, so if you've watched like a few recent videos, you'll have heard me talk about my neck pain. I get these neck flare-ups since this car accident, but I also get a lot of numbness in my arms, particularly my right arm, and this mostly happens during the night. And I actually had some conduction studies done recently to basically see what was going on, if there was actual nerve damage or not, because I just get this numbness in my arm, and no matter what I do, I can't get it, like the feeling to come back. And it's awful, and it's been impacting my sleep literally for years, but obviously I'm just kind of used to it at this point. So I just kind of accept it and just sort of lay awake a lot of the time. And it's been getting worse again recently. But basically these nerve conduction studies showed that the nerves in my right arm are not functioning and firing how they should be. And I have a theory that that's why my grip's kind of getting worse on deadlifts, because it's usually my right hand that slips, and I'm just struggling to hold that grip. And it's not every set, it's just sometimes. So I wonder if it's to do with the nerves, which kind of makes me think that maybe for my rep work, I will start wearing straps. Not on this day probably, because this is quite a light day, but on my primary day, I'll probably wear straps for everything except for my top single. Because this is just really frustrating, and obviously I don't want it to hold back my strength progression because of this nerve issue. I could be wrong, like that might not be what it is, but I think that would logically kind of make some sense. So I do think that is probably at least impacting it. I do also need to get better chalk, like that is something else I definitely need to do, and I need to actually order some. I've got like 4 blocks left for this one that I've been using up, but it's just so slippy that I think I just need to part ways with it. So yeah, I need to order some more chalk as well, but I do think the nerve issue is probably part of what's causing the problem. So yeah, not really a lot I can do about that right now. Just gonna have to hope things get better. But yeah, that's probably all I've got to say, really. Nothing else going on. I'm struggling. I still have to do my accessories, but they won't take me more than like 15, 20 minutes if I just kind of crack on and get them done. I'm just on a major go slow. I will say as well, I did not get a lot of sleep last night, which is also partly why my energy level was really bad. So I've started reading recently, and I've actually found some books I'm really enjoying, but a bit too much, because last night I got in bed at like 8 o'clock to read and then like go to bed in good time. And I ended up reading until like 11:30. And then I was like, I've got to be up at 6 in the morning. This was a terrible idea. So I need to sort my bedtime out as well. I think that might also help me feel a bit better. But 2 more working days, annual leave is nearly here. Very much looking forward to it. Really excited to spend a lot of time outdoors next week as well. I think I'm going to try and take the dog out to different walks, at least like 2 or 3 days, like just me and him a few days next week as well, and just explore different places, get some fresh air, because the weather's not, well, it's meant to rain, but I don't mind that. I'd actually rather it rain than be like this. But it's meant to be like 20, 21 degrees all week, so I think that should be pretty nice weather to kind of go out with him, especially if it's raining. It shouldn't be too sunny, so the pavements and stuff won't be too hot for him either. So I think I just have to power through the next 2 days of being tired, and then lots of good sleep Friday night, heavy training session, and lots of volume Saturday, and then Sunday accessory session. But I'm excited to have a shuffle around, I think, of my days as well, because I think the days of the week I'm training currently are definitely a lot better than what they were before I was coaching myself again, and like I've fit them into my routine a lot better. But I think there's still scope to shuffle some stuff around, which I'm quite looking forward to doing. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you very much if you made it to the end. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in a few days for the next one. Running away from our problems. So here we stand on the edge tonight. There's no turning back now. I've been weak for 3 damn weeks. I can't think straight, no, I can't eat. I cry and I cry and I